We the top 10. UGK the major, way not play it don't stop here. Traffic lights, we going, know the time until the clock near. Hands on roll, we doing digi to the whole block clear. Yo, what you got there? Oh, did you not hear? And he's taking over and we got the whole shop, yeah. Her, she wanna know me better, but I'm on the top 10. Gotta match my energy, you see I'm in the top, yeah. Yeah, it's top 10. Hey, now I'm in blessed mode, did you forget, bro? Put G-O-D first and nothing less, no. On a radar per release, per request, yo. Life is like a dice game, that's a bet, though. Is you bugging, that's a dub. Shoulder shrug to the stub. Tell them hit the squatty up. See a line of cars meet up. Nah, don't bother us. Windows fogging up. If she in a passenger, then you know she finest. Damn. It's really still a bros and my blood love. All is all love. AWD, I got a newer clutch. And my guapi up, you could call me up. Since you know the face and the name, this is us. We the top 10. UGK the major, way not play it don't stop here. Traffic lights, we going, know the time until the clock near. Hands on roll, we doing digi to the whole block clear. Yo, what you got there? Oh, did you not hear? And he's taking over and we got the whole shop, yeah. Her, she wanna know me better, but I'm on the top 10. Gotta match my energy, you see I'm in the top, yeah. Yeah, it's top 10. Hey. Yeah, I heard you knocking, but my nigga, I am not here. Watch out for the company you keep, cause people mad weird. I will pull up on you and address it, I am not scared. We just looking down on these niggas from the top stairs. We been dropping back to back to back, but it don't stop here. People love to tell me their opinion, I do not care. Way that we keep bodying these tracks, man, it is not fair. Way that God keep blessing me, protected by my mom's prayers. In my own bubble like a Montclair. Count the money, making sure it's all there. Designer in my closet and it's all rare. Every year it's all yeah. Nature boy like Ric Flair. UGK the major, way not.
One, two. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet. Unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it, my words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it, you know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly, we ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all, peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah.
Feel like Kobe, I'm like Jokic with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me, I don't care if you pushing 40. You can never little bro me. You're on step like Ginobili, from young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds to floor seats. Circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach.
All right, let's do this. We are on episode 383 of the PHPUgly podcast. We are a podcast that focuses on the PHP programming language, the PHP community, and our company, PHP Architect. I am one of your hosts, Eric Van Johnson, and with me is John Congdon.
Hello. Ignore me while I send a quick email.
If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope you enjoy yourself. We meet every Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific time, and just talk about whatever's going on in our world, around the business, in the PHP world. All that
Which
stuff.
business is that, Eric?
PHP Architect, John. PHP Architect, John. John, it's PHP Architect. This podcast is made a little better thanks to some sponsorship. This particular podcast is sponsored by MailTrap, an email delivery platform that developers love. Try it for free at mailtrap.io, as well as our other sponsor, honeybadger.io, and PHP Architect, which at some point we will actually make a commercial for, and as well as our supporters on Patreon. You can be part of the show. Oh, we're going to talk about all of that later, including honeybadger.io, and maybe we'll even talk a little bit more about MailTrap and see what's going on with that. And of course our Patreon. I got a new slide for our Patreon supporters, so I'm kind of excited to try it. But you can be part of the show by joining us at discord.phpugly.com, and you can contribute to the show by suggesting titles or talking points. Matter of fact, I don't even have the Discord up. Let's get those guys up here as well. They'll scroll along the side here, and yeah, you can see the chat happening. You can also participate in all the other platforms, but the cool thing about being part of Discord is Discord goes all week long. So even after the show, everybody just hangs out in there. Built quite the community. Was real happy to meet even more Discord members at Tech this year. So every year I meet like 2 or 3 Discord people, or at least 2 or 3 Discord people finally have, the courage to come up and tell me they're part of our Discord. So it's always funny to find out, like, oh no, you're part of the Discord. Okay, cool.
It seemed funnier when it's your last year. I just didn't want to talk to you.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Add your title suggestions as the lower third suggests. Just do a bang title in space, whatever the title is, and it will end up in our queue. So, yeah, cool. Jeffrey, look, see, we got Jeffrey in there. Good evening, Jeffrey. Got the Blonde Jet. So we got NorCal Kid up there.
Nice.
And yeah.
383,
how you doing?
And we have a new sponsor.
We have a new finally. Somebody hasn't blacklisted us. Oh.
They tried. I was persistent.
What's up with this, man? What's up with this MailTrap thing here? Talk to me.
I mean, we've been using it for years, and we just obviously with tech, we were reaching out to different companies that we thought would be a good fit for sponsorship, and I reached out to them. Actually, I think they reached out to us first about sponsoring podcasts, and then I was trying to get them to sponsor tech, and yeah, just kind of worked out well.
We've been very fortunate with our sponsors as far as like them being people we use a lot. So
yeah, I shared the link in Discord. If you want to check it out, it's not an affiliate link, but it at least gives them tracking to know that the clicks came from listening to our show.
If we just had a QR code, somebody could just scan and get there as well. For anybody watching the live stream, might have been nice.
That would have been nice, wouldn't it? Can't do it with an image, but I can do it like, nope, not that way. Nope, not that way.
Doing it live.
That's the way to do it. It's the only way.
All right. Well, while you do that, what have you been up? Oh, I don't want to distract you. You stay. I'll carry the show.
No, we're good. There it is. QR code top left.
Right,
I think is
left.
what.
Go. I don't see anything. Where's it at?
At the top of your screen.
You're not good at this job. No, it's not. Anybody see a QR code?
It's above your head. Above your head.
It's right here?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I don't know what to tell you. I see it. It's all that matters. I can scan it.
All right, that's all
The way it
that's
works.
important. So for all the audio listeners, the QR code is from left to right, dot, dot, square, dot, square, square, dot. No, just okay, yeah, people are saying they see it. I totally do not see it.
Weird. Interesting.
But yeah, I wear my Padres pride hat today. Despite where's it at? Oh, it's over here. Pride, is that where it says pride?
Yep.
Yeah. I get a pride hat every year, and despite the fact that it was held while I was in Chicago, which I still have like 5 or 6 Chicago hats to pimp on the show. I haven't gone through yet, but I felt like it was time to wear the pride hat that I've had for a while. I had one of the partners of the children was nice enough to go and get it, and I very much appreciate it. I've gotten like the last 3 or 4. I like these hats. This is probably my least favorite one. It's a lot of white, but I don't know. I dig it.
Yeah, the colors are muted. That's for sure.
Yeah.
On it.
Yeah. But yeah. So Tech, man, what do we got? What are we doing? We announcing anything?
Oh, you're going right back to that. Thought we were giving that a break for a couple of weeks.
No, man. Well, I mean, I would, except I've been so hard at work. I did definitely wanted to share it. Fun fact: if you head over to phptech.tv right now, the podcast is streaming on there for free. You don't have to log in or pay for anything. It's just there on the front page. Why? I got way too much time on my hand, and I just thought that would be fun.
You made it happen, huh?
I made it happen. But yeah, we've got videos up from 2024 now out there. Let me make this bigger and share it with you guys.
I've been uploading mine. I've got a few of them up.
Oh, did you get them uploaded? Okay, cool.
Some. I've got all of the ballroom edited. Uploading just takes forever. Edited.
Yeah. So
slowly
I got
uploading them.
Good chunk. Ironically enough, PHPUgly is the one room that we still need to finish. I'm about halfway through PHPUgly. And then I have to actually circle back. There are talks. So I did roundtable. Yeah, I did roundtable and foundation, and then started working on Ugly.
No, I'm doing roundtable. I thought. Now I'm confused.
Don't do roundtable. Roundtable's done. Wait, who did I do then? Foundation and what?
You should have done foundation and Ugly. I thought.
No, I did foundation and roundtable. So those two are done. I'm working through Ugly now.
You took the wrong one. It's fine. If you're doing Ugly as well, then it's all good.
Except the fact, why the hell is it all good then? Because you're only doing one room. But anyways,
you did the wrong room anyway.
You know, I had like a really good editing flow going, but Foundation, PHP Foundation, which if you don't know what we're talking about PHP Tech. We called the rooms PHP Foundation Studio, I think, and Ugly, PHPUgly, and PHP Roundtable. I forgot what we called. I just know we called them all after the podcast. And then, of course, we had PHP Architect was the ballroom. So I was doing PHP Foundation and PHP Roundtable. I did those 2 rooms. But PHP Foundation had a color issue with the camera, which made editing that room like 3 times longer than it took me to do Roundtable. Like Roundtable, I literally got all the talks done in Roundtable in like an hour. I mean, I dialed in my workflow that well. Foundation, even though I'm not doing the last day, the uncons, not yet. We need to reach out to the uncon people, make sure they're okay with it. But more importantly, the way the videos get published, the uncons aren't true talks in the system, so we kind of have to work that out. Don't give up on uncons. We might still get those published. They're just like backburnered stuff right now. But and then there are other kind of talks that there are problems with the video or sound that I need to get back to. But in general, the foundation room, the color was off, so it made editing that one room, despite the fact that it was only 2 days as opposed to 3 days, take like three times longer than Ugly took.
There's actually 2 problems with it. We had the wrong ATEM, so we don't have the separate
yeah,
video.
there's that issue too.
So while we were able to do picture-in-picture and have the video and the speaker, you can't color correct both of them because then it's all messed up. It's just a whole weird thing. Next year, we need to do a better job of testing all the equipment the day before, not just get it hooked up, but actually.
I'm sorry, did that come through? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So, ATEM, and we can't even blame anybody for the ATEM but ourselves. So,
But
unfortunately,
me, I'm the one that ordered it.
well, I wasn't going to go there. Here, listen to the intro.
I will.
Pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Work with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the.
Did you turn that on when you uploaded videos, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good, I did too. Actually, I may not have on the most recent ones.
No, this is exactly why it's not in the volume.
I thought it was.
I gotta
Audio level's okay?
go back and look at that.
Yep. Perfect. Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, so videos are slowly creeping up. So if you bought a virtual pass or if you attended PHP Tech, you now can log in. You could always have logged in and seen the videos from 2023, but now 2024 is slowly uploading, and we should have had this done a week or so ago. Like, we had made all these plans to get it out like the next week. We even had our design team do like the bumpers, the intros and outros before the conference even started. And we're like, hey, we'll send you the images. Don't worry about it. We'll send you the images. And
well, in our defense, we're way ahead of schedule from last year. Last year, I think it took us 6 to 8 weeks to get it done.
That's true. Actually, I think it was longer than that, to be completely honest with you, John.
Yeah.
I think it took us 3 months.
Took us a very long time.
Yeah, but it's nice. So that's there. And like I said, if you go to the homepage, there's the podcast. Look how cute those guys are.
We're on the verge of signing the contract for next year. So
very close. Very close.
We have it in our inbox. Matter of going through it, fine tooth comb, and a little more haggling and negotiation. So maybe in the next couple of weeks, we will be announcing the dates for next year.
We will spoil it and let you know it's the same venue. I mean, I think everybody's kind of comfortable with that venue. So
not everybody, but enough people.
Oh, so where I was going. So I had finished up Foundation and Roundtable so quickly, and John was still kind of working on Ballroom. I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. I'll do Ugly. I got this. I can get it knocked out in like a day. And I pull up Ugly, and Ugly had the same camera issue as Foundation.
No way.
No, yeah, way. I'm like, oh, son of a... And then I ended up sick yesterday. So I'm like...
At least with that one, you should have the ISO file. So it should be like just one color correction. And then you should be able to clean it up.
Oh, that's right. I didn't do that in Foundation because we didn't have the right ATEM for that. Oh, I didn't even try that, John. Thank you for telling me that.
Do you have I forget if we have the BRAW footage. We don't. Why do we not have that?
But I do have the ISOs, so I'll try the ISO trick today.
Yeah. the hard part is going to be the picture-in-picture. Now that I think about it, but at least you can figure things out there. Maybe.
Well, so the I'm not going to call out our people who is managing the rooms, but the one good thing I have going with Ugly is the person who is managing that ATOM. When they went picture in picture, they kept it like picture in picture, like 90% of the video. So that made it really easy, even with the color correction issue. The other person who, was being cool at the time, kept switching back and forth. Like damn it, stop switching. So, like, if I could just get like a version that's just the picture in picture, I would just do that the whole show and not worry about it. This is a programming podcast, by the way, not a video and audio editing podcast. But
no, this is a podcast about our trials and tribulations in life and in general,
and trying to do things that we're not specialized in.
Yeah, I had an interesting issue this week. Our Archie CLI command that we use to basically run the business.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I liked it. It's not a CLI command. It's our Archie AI. It's been rebranded. Did I not tell you this?
So we have a simple command that does a lot of different things, from helping us with the magazine, accounting stuff, shipping orders. It does a lot of behind the scenes work. I go to run it this week, and usually I just run it without any commands or arguments, and it just gives me the list of options, right? You had to go picture in picture, didn't you?
I did.
So I run it, and it just freezes. It just sits there. I'm like, what in the world is going on? And you know me with debugging, I immediately jump in and I'm trying to figure out where the problem is at. And my way of figuring it out is I'm going to go into the startup script, the entry point into the application, and go print 1, print 2, print 3, and find out where it stops printing. Run it. No output.
None at all?
None at all. So I'm like, okay, I started my print statements pretty low. Let me go to the top. Actually went print 0 up higher because I started with 1. Still no output. I'm like, all right. Right after the opening PHP tag, print -1 because I'm going backwards.
Makes sense.
Still no output. I'm like, all right, let me just print -1, exit. Just give me something. Start it up. Nothing.
You got me nervous now, dude.
It was driving me nuts. Then I remembered, in another shell, I had PHP-A running, and for some reason, it wasn't allowing me to run 2 different PHP processes.
What?
That
can't be real.
I'm telling you, that was my experience.
I'm not saying I'm clicking over to test it right now. I'm just saying.
It just worked fine here. Like, I just did it.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I don't know what was going on the other day, but as soon as I killed that interactive shell, it started working for me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
I am flabbergasted. That's all I'm saying. Don't know why.
I've had it before where I've had SSH connections that I've exited out of, but it wouldn't close because I had it as the shared session thing. I have it configured so if I have that SSH open in another terminal, it'll just hold on to it. It won't close it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, God, but this is not that. This is something very wrong is happening in your system.
Yeah. I mean, it's working fine right now. So I don't know if in my interactive shell I did something else, but it still shouldn't matter. And I just don't know what happened.
Well, thanks for that little piece of nothing. That's not helpful at all. Appreciate that.
Not at all.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a moment since we are early enough in the show and thank our other sponsor, who I still have not updated the audio on. So don't say anything, John. Just act like this is new.
More about wide events in the context of application logs and observability lately. A wide event is just a collection of properties that may be useful later. The more the better. Think about all the context around a web request. The wider your events, the better prepared you'll be for unknown unknowns, those sneaky bugs that you can't anticipate. Observability isn't rocket science, but the industry likes to pretend that it is. Honeybadger.io is challenging the assumption with Honeybadger Insights. Honeybadger's approach to observability is simple. First, log everything with wide structured events. Then, query and graph your events with BadgerQL, the powerful query language at the heart of Honeybadger Insights that allows you to ask questions about your systems and build quick charts and dashboards. Install Honeybadger today and be fully prepared to navigate the unknown unknowns of your next incident. Visit honeybadger.io to learn more. That's www.honeybadger.io. Thank you, Honeybadger.
I got a question for you, John.
What is
Since
that?
we're talking about the trial and tribulations of running a business, I just actually had this conversation with some other friends of mine, and I'm just curious your input on this. Knowing what you know today, well, let's see. Do I want to make you look bad or not? Let's go that route. I won't be offended. I promise. I absolutely promise I won't be offended. Knowing what you know today, as far as running a company, and we are like a legitimate company, would you have done this again? Like, if you could go back in time and we're sitting around talking about this, would you have gone down this path?
Knowing everything I know today,
Yeah.
like COVID and everything.
No, not COVID. Not COVID.
So,
Let me ask. I'll ask it.
there-
Let me ask it a different way. Might be easier this way.
I have an
Knowing,
answer here.
well, if your answer doesn't change, great. Knowing what you know today about what it takes to run a company, if somebody came to you and asked your advice if they should start a company, what would you tell them?
That it is a lot of work. There's a lot of things I don't know that frustrate me today, like accounting. Dealing with books is a pain in the ass. Dealing with legalities, dealing with just the ins and outs of what it takes to run the business, what forms need to be submitted, what hiring somebody in another state, now you need these foreign entities, and you got
Another
to
country,
file,
you mean?
and country.
Yeah.
Luckily, that's a little easier being done through a service than trying to do it ourselves internally. Because in the US, we have to have a business location, not physical location, but a business presence as far as paperwork goes in every state that we hire somebody. Using that service for other countries, they have that same thing, but in other countries. So I guess it depends on how big you're planning on being. What are you planning on doing? Are you running it by yourself, or are you trying to hire people and do something more?
If you could do it again, would you?
Marketing is I'm terrible at marketing, right? And it's hard to get new business without marketing. We've been very fortunate with word of mouth advertising, throughout our career. But there are times I look back and our first employee left us to go work at a game studio, and I had the opportunity at that point to probably go with, and would be making a hell of a lot more money personally.
You would be making a lot more money.
Right. But at the same time, I like what we do. I like this. I like the community we built. I like being a bigger part of the community, not just working for some game studio, right? So I probably wouldn't change anything. I like my freedom. I like what I do, but it is a hell of a lot of work, and I'm not good at 90% of it.
Gotcha.
How about you?
No, I have no regrets, John. I'm really happy. You fuck no. I will say, like, one thing that you touched on that I think really resonates is, what are you doing, right? Like, if you're just looking to be a consultant where it's just a one-man shop, it's a very different world than what we're doing with the company. I totally agree with you, John, as far as like the paperwork, the legalities, just all of that is just such a pain in the ass. One of my bigger issues, and this is a personal issue, is I hate my partner. No, wait, that came out wrong. When you're working for somebody, or
Choose
even
the right
if you
partner.
if you vet your partners really well. If you're working for somebody, or even if you're a lone shop, making a mistake might not cost you anything. Like, if you're working for somebody and you screw up, worst thing might happen is you might get fired if you screw up bad enough. Owning a company, a small screw up can cost you a lot of money. But more importantly, the thing that keeps me up at night that I never anticipated is my anxiety of the idea of not the company goes under, whatever, right? It's like I've started from zero many times before. I've changed careers and I've built it. But the idea that we have so many people dependent on this job keeps me up at night. Like, that is actually what motivates me. Like, we need more work because, if one contract goes away, we would have to lose, half of our shop. And because they would need to make money, they would have to go somewhere where they can make money. We wouldn't be able to afford them. So I'm like constantly looking at other ways of making money. Not so much more clients, which is, I have no issue with client work, but ideally I'd like to establish PHP Architect where the employment wasn't dependent on the consulting work. Like, we could carry our people and they could work on consulting work as it comes around. And that keeps me up at night. I mean, that just stresses me out. And that's just, I could be selfish and just be like, more like John, just like, no, fuck them. But that bothers me. But yeah, the thing I shared with my friends is the biggest advice I would tell you is if you're honestly looking to start a company of more than one person, be prepared to work for 24 hours a day, and literally about 4 hours a week will be doing what you love. Like, that feels like sometimes like we get to code a very fraction of the total work we put into keeping things going. And it's just I don't know. But like John says, I couldn't do it any other way anymore. Like, I've tried to think about that, like, working for somebody again. But that's like not having to worry about health insurance for a whole company. You just worried about my health insurance for me, and I can't do it, man. Like, I am so out of that mindset now. I can't get my head around it.
One of the things that has always stuck in my brain from previous employers or people I looked up to was, as the employee, you're only worried about getting a paycheck. As an employer, I'm worried about making payroll, like being able to provide that paycheck.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's the biggest change. Yeah, is making sure we can make payroll. And not that we struggle with it. I mean, fortunately, if you do go into business with somebody, you do want somebody like John who's really good at putting nest eggs away, hiding the money from me.
COVID put a dent in that for damn
Oh,
sure.
yeah, COVID. We talked about this many times, but yeah,
Yeah.
COVID absolutely demolished us, almost to the
Yeah.
point where we were going to have to make some hard decisions. But
Yeah. Yep.
oh, all right. What do you got going on this week? Anything?
Yeah, I learned something new this week, and there's two parts to it that fascinate me. Uh, Dealing with MySQL, I learned about CTEs, which is
CTEs.
Common Table Expression. And while I haven't dug in as much as I would like to, my basic understanding is it's almost like creating loops, like being able to pull up data from tables, not in the same joining way as we were used to traditionally. So I guess
Is this new?
it's new in 8.0.
I'm
MySQL
sure.
8.
I'm sure we should say it's new to MySQL because I'm sure there's like a Postgres person out there being like, "Oh yeah, we had that for years, you idiot."
Yeah. I think SQL Server also has it. I think it's part of the standard like SQL implementation, or not implementation, but construct.
Mm-hmm.
So
Explain this. What is this?
in my understanding, so I've always used MySQL 5.7, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I have some code that basically dynamically creates a query with a ton of left joins, a ton of group concatenation, uh, and it can cause problems. Like if somebody has a million contacts in the database, it returns a lot of data. Usually not a big deal. It works. But somebody recently said, hey, I bet if we refactored it to use CTE now that we're on MySQL 8, we can improve the performance. So they did that.
This is where the rubber hits the road. This is what we want to hear.
It went live last night. We tested. It was mainly targeted at the API to get contact data back, and we tested it. All worked fine, like no issues. We were getting back the same structure we were getting with the previous queries, so no problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I come in this morning to a video from a user. This is unacceptable. They use HubSpot, and in HubSpot they have a log of changes to their records, and the record says such and such company, phone burner, deleted the email address, deleted the phone number. And she was livid. She's like, this is unacceptable. You need to get back to me as soon as possible.
Oh, because it's like a temporary table, so it's seeing the stuff.
No. Well, so I get back to that. Now I'm freaking out. How is data being deleted out of here? And I'm like not understanding, trying to put the pieces together. Bunch of us in Zoom trying to figure it out. And we're like, it has to be something in the API because that changed last night. But when we test the API, we're getting back the responses we think we should be. So like I always do, I jump onto a production server, I edit code live, and I spit out the query. Like here's the query that is being run. I go run it in DataGrip. No response. I'm like, that's weird. Let me comment out all the CTE stuff. Like just a normal query, no response.
Wait, did you have PHP-A running somewhere? just curious.
I knew I meant to check something. No, I'm like, it's driving me crazy. So I start looking, and I realize, oh, this contact has a category of 0. Basically, it wasn't in a folder. I'm like, but that means it would have been broken before. And I'm on with the person who did the rewrite of my query, and they're like, when I realized, oh, they have a where category ID does not equal 0. I'm like, well, this is why you're eliminating this. And he goes, well, it was in the left join before, and that's, I think his exact words were, a fucking terrible idea. I'm like, but it worked before, now it doesn't.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to left join on the category because I want the category name, but only if it's not 0 because it's invalid, right? And we put it back there and everything worked fine. So it should have been left join on this and category ID does not equal 0. He just moved that down to the where clause, broke it. So when HubSpot hit the API saying, hey, give me this contact information, we said, yep, here it is, but there's no emails, there's no phones. And
Oh.
so then HubSpot was like, oh, there's no email, no phone. Let me just delete this off of our record.
Wow. Well, that sucked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not fun at all.
Rayness. I'm not going to say, you're not going to trick me into saying that whole username, because every time I try to say it in my head, I'm saying something else. But I am all down. If you're a Postgres person and you would be interested in writing an article for PHP Architect, reach out to us. I would love to get that's one of those things I have FOMO of, fear of missing out, is Postgres. Like, everybody hypes up Postgres and how great it is, and I've seen some articles where I'm like, I mean, that's all right, but like I've never found that one thing that made me say, oh yeah, this is what I'm using moving forward. Like, why have we not been using this? And
yeah, that one where it was talking about objects and versus the table, the relationships via tables, but you actually have objects.
Yeah,
was an interesting use case, but I still couldn't picture bringing it into my code base that way.
right. And I wonder if it's like the whole document store thing, where it's like you're just not in that mindset, that once you get in the mindset. But for me, and I was going to ask this about the CTE, that's what it's called, right? The CTE.
Right. Common table expression. Yep.
Like, for me, if it's not something that's supported in Eloquent, like, I'm probably not going to use it. If I have to drop down to some raw query, there's just not enough there for me to say, oh yeah, let me break this whole Eloquent workflow to do, add this raw portion. I don't know. I just don't know if I'd be there. And I feel that way with Postgres as well, that I'm bringing this whole circle, like that object piece you're talking about. Like, if it doesn't have that feature built in to Eloquent, because that's what I use most of the time, I just don't know if I would use it. And like with the CTE, is this something that Doctrine supported? Because I know that's what you use. Is this something Doctrine supported out of the box, or you just do raw?
I just do raw. This was a raw query.
Gotcha.
It was a way to bring a bunch of left joins into a different way of handling it. And now, as I'm looking through this more, it can be used with updates and deletes too. And I actually could have used that today.
Yeah. Yeah, see, it's things like this. And this is where that whole DBA world is like a real thing. Like, people who their entire career is focused on database administration.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this is that. Like, this is where they really, I'm not to that level by any means. I mean, I wouldn't mind being to that level, but if I can't use it in my code, or if it adds too much cruft to my code, I'm just not going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Something like this, even if I did add it to like a raw query of an Eloquent model, the next developer who comes in behind me will look at it and go, what the hell is this? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't know how to debug this.
I think this is really only, as far as I'm concerned, meant for like your bigger queries that are a little more complicated, that you're not really going to be using Eloquent for anyway. You're probably going to, I mean, you could use Eloquent, but pass it a raw query to begin with.
Yeah. Which is a real use case for us with the client.
Mm-hmm.
That actually brings up another interesting topic, talking about things we're not good at. It seems to be the underlying story of the show. Thank you very much for that. let's take a moment. You want to do this now?
Sure. Before we
What-
get
what-
to Eric's point,
Yeah.
I just want to remind everyone, this episode is sponsored by MailTrap, an email delivery platform that developers love. An email sending solution with industry best analytics, SMTP, and email API SDKs.
I'll just
for
read
major
it
programming
live. I'm not
languages.
even worried about it.
MailTrap, we love you, but Eric is a pain in the ass sometimes. From the top now, an email sending solution with industry best analytics, SMTP, and email API, SDKs for major programming languages, and 24/7 human support. Try for free at mailtrap.io or click the link in Discord or in the show notes.
Yeah,
That
do
works.
that. I mean, I gotta add that to a show notes. Don't let me forget. Jeez.
Well, I mean, I added it in Trello, so
Thank you for that.
it should come through that way.
All right. So what were we? Oh, not that.
Thank you, MailTrap.
Thank you, MailTrap. What were we talking about? Talking about things we're not good at. Oh. So we're a back-end developer. I consider myself a back-end developer. I think John kind of in the same boat. We do front-end when we need to, but we're not very good at it. Our whole shop is like that. Like, we don't really have a front-end person in our shop, which is something, we acknowledge, and we ever get the money, we will address, but we're just not there. So we have services we use for design, and if the design is big enough and more, really complex, we will even outsource the kind of mock-up of that design to code, mainly for Tailwind, to another service, right? And this has kind of been our workflow for a while. It's not a cheap workflow, but in the long run, it saves us money than trying to design it ourselves first off, which we would all be really bad at. But trying to then take that design and translate it to Tailwind, what we pay somebody an hour to do and what we use for the service is, whatever. It's better, right? It's cheaper. And that's what we've done for a couple of iterations. And we're working on this every time we do it. And we actually did it for the tech website, phptech.io. We did it for that website as well. Every time we do it, I'm like, this service is turning these pages around too quickly. Like, there's a tool. They're using a tool of some sort to generate this Tailwind code. I couldn't figure out what it was. All I was providing to them was a Photoshop file, and they would, within a day, get me these very complex mock-ups of the website. So I kept like trying to figure out how they're converting the Photoshop to Tailwind, and the Tailwind is okay, but like, looking at it, like, somebody didn't go through and type all that up. There's just too much to it. And it really bothered me with the phptech.io site. It's like, I'm like, the strings were, complex, and everything worked, and I'm not knocking them. The service, they make money doing it, so I'm not faulting them, but as a business owner, I'm thinking, can I be doing what they're doing? And then he kind of showed his hand this last offer. You might appreciate this. So this last offer was even probably the most complex layout that we'd asked him to convert to Tailwind. And their response was, can I get this in Figma? And I know what Figma is. Again, not being a front-end guy, we've played with it a little bit. I have no idea what I'm doing in it, but I get like, this is the tool that designers use. So I reply, I'm like, absolutely not. No. and I honestly did. I'm like, I don't have this in Figma. I can do that moving forward. And I actually reached out to our design group and asked them to generate another site that I had them work on in Figma.
I saw that. I was wondering why you went that route. Now things are making sense.
Now it's coming together, right? So yeah, I tipped my hand as well. So when he asked for Figma, I'm like, okay, Figma's got to be the key. So I reached out to our design group, I wasn't going to bother them with this design because this was already in another pipeline. I wasn't going to pull it back to put it into our design group's pipeline to put it back. So I reached out to our design group. I'm like, hey, this other design I had you work on, can you generate a Figma file for me for that? And they did. And I create a Figma account. And I start, poking around. And I'm like, okay, they're like these plugins for Figma that, lets you convert to CSS or whatever. And it's just like, it wasn't good. Like it was really hit or miss. And the service we were using did a much better job. I'm like, okay, this is not what they're doing. Maybe this is like getting them 80% of the way there, and then they just go through and clean it up. And I was just about to give up, and then I found a Figma plugin for another site, another service called, I forget now. God, I got to go find it now. Oh my goodness, I can't forget. And anyways, I found this Figma plugged into yet another service that did it all. And I'm like,
really?
Okay, I got the tool chain now. Anybody interested? I'll look it up and put it in the show notes. I completely have blanked on what that other service is called. Because like I said, I've been working through this for the last couple of days, and I'm looking.
So do we have a company Figma account now? You said you paid for it.
So here's the thing. Builder.io is the other piece of the puzzle. So there's a Builder.io plugin into Figma, and then Builder.io will generate very good, very clean Tailwind code. I'm using Tailwind. It has a bunch. It has Bootstrap and everything else. That was a game changer for me. Builder.io and Figma. I'll throw Builder.io in the show notes now, so I don't forget to add it.
Look, you're so kind, giving them free advertising. What a guy.
Yeah. This will be the only time we talk about it until they become a sponsor. But yeah, that was the connection I made. So I'm not saying this other service, is out of a job now. That I very well might reach out to them in the future, but this is addressing probably 90% of the work that we've been sending to them. So yeah. So to answer your question, do we have a company account now? I don't understand the point of it. I mean, we can.
No, I was just asking. You said you paid for it, so I didn't know.
Let me explain it though. Like normally with company accounts, you create an organization, and I've only been using Figma for a day or two. So if anybody's listening and can correct me on this, let me know. In Figma, you don't have that. You have teams. Like you don't have organizations. You have teams, and you can add people to your team, but when you sign up for Figma, it's a per user account, but it's like a per user per seat. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What? Like, I don't understand. Like, what am I don't. It's not like Slack where you're like, okay, here's your organization. If you want to add somebody to your organization, just go add them. Maybe it is like that, and I just don't know where that is. So yes, we do have a PHP architect team out there now, and I don't know how to add people to it. Like I can send invites, but like those people have to sign up for an account. Maybe it's like Notion where not everybody needs to have the paid account. I don't know. I've got to figure all that out, because I do think we're going to use this, especially for our mobile development. Because again, that other service, that Builder.io, will also do some generation of a lot of these JavaScript libraries. It'll just do the whole JavaScript and CSS piece for you.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I got to say on that. Now I got another question for you, John. One I will be sharing on the stream. I'm a UU. Actually, where are we at on time? Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, we're gonna have to be quick with this one. I'm a UUID guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I finally gave up on the battle of making UUIDs my primary key in the database, because every time you include a package that utilizes a primary key, it expects it to be a an
Integer.
yeah, and if you have a UUID, everything goes sideways. So I finally started going the route of having a UUID column that I basically use as my primary key for my internal stuff, and then in the case that I need to use a package, I have the other auto incrementing ID.
This is mainly for the user table, right? Is that what you mean? Because most of the packages that you're
Yeah, probably
implementing
90% are the user table. But there's now another ID out there, and I don't know. Everybody's saying this one's better, John. And I just invested in my UUIDs. There's now the ULID, which stands for Universal Unique This Lexiconographically Sortable Identifier. And this is supposed to be so much better, but it doesn't look like a UUID. And I'm like, I don't want to not have my UUIDs anymore. Have you heard of this?
I have, but I haven't done any research into it. So
I need somebody to explain to me, should I let this fade? Like, should I let this go for a while? Or do I need to jump on board with this today? Because I need to know. I don't have the whole team on board with UUIDs yet. I mean, everybody's on board with the concept, but we haven't really baked it into our code bases yet. Whereas the code bases I work on almost always have UUIDs in them now. But like, if I need to pivot, I need to pivot like very soon. And I need somebody to explain to me if there's really a benefit to the one advantage that they keep talking about is that whole overhead of UUIDs and databases gets cut dramatically with ULIDs. I don't know why. They just do.
Well, you're not supposed to store your UUID as character strings. You're supposed to store them as not ints, binary.
Binary, yeah.
And in that case, I think it's smaller.
Yeah. I
But
think I
most
tried.
But most
that.
people store it as characters because it's easier to read. But
Right.
there's no need to, especially I think MySQL 8 has the UUID formatters built in, so you can read it out just fine.
So, anyways, if there's anybody in our Discord or anybody, Sarah, you're out there, tell me what a UILD is.
ULID.
ULID. And if I should care about it, Sarah. People love the micro optimize their IDs. Yeah, I agree with you there. UUID
It's micro optimize, yes, but it's when you start getting into, I think Foamrunner's got a couple tables where we've had to go from int to big int.
Oh, really?
Just because you're running out of space. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's necessarily micro optimizing when you start getting to a billion records.
But they have a point, yeah. Especially again, you go back to the DBAs. Like I'm sure DBAs, hated the idea of UUIDs.
Yeah, but it's. But there's also something
helpful.
There's something else to be said about the performance, not necessarily storage optimization, but the optimization of the indexing, which I think is the more important part than just the storage space component.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things you always hear about using UUIDs.
And then if you're storing the binary on disk, you can easily use a generated column to return the character representation that we're used to.
All right, so ULIDs is what you're going to hear from me for the next couple of weeks until I understand yay or nay on this. I'm either going to be the biggest supporter or I'm going to throw it under a bus somewhere because I don't have time. I either need to get on board with this and embrace it, or just not think about it again. And I was hoping somebody in our Discord would have some direction. Sarah, I'm curious if it's not something that's supported in MongoDB. Is there a reason that you're aware of? You don't have to officially be speaking for MongoDB, but are you aware of any reason why it would not be supported today? Is it just too new? How new is it? I don't even know how new this is.
The funny thing is they talk about it being lexicographically sortable, like you can just sort it alphabetically, but you can do that with UUIDs too, which I think is version 4.
4. Yeah, and then version 4 is also the one that had a time-based component to it, so that the UUIDs were sequential based
Right.
on creation time, which was
That was a real which is what this is doing as well. So it's
Right.
doing the same thing. They talk about the speed of generation. If you're worried about that much speed, then you probably shouldn't be using PHP. Like,
It's true.
You're not saving that much time. I can't imagine.
Interesting. So Sarah says it's just too new. So that's might be good enough for me. I'm not going to get too much on board with something. There are 2 PHP implementations here. Actually, let me add this to the show notes, the spec form here. There looks like there's 2 implementations for PHP. Haven't looked at them. Let me go ahead and share this now. We can discover together. How's that? At some point, we need to get to our Patreon supporters. So, these are just the username, so it doesn't really actually tell you the author. So if I click on the PHP, will it take me there then? What's this take me to? Yeah, here it is. ULD PHP ULD. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm ready to get on board with this yet or not. I have no real compelling reason to do it, so maybe that's a dud story. But you know it's not a dud, John? Our supporters on Patreon. I forgot to add music. Our supporters on Patreon. Thank you, Patreon supporters. You're all very important to us.
So someone asked UUID versus GUID. I think we use UUID when we're talking about it in general.
Yeah.
Right. Universally versus globally. Universally, it's no matter where you're at in the universe, not just here on Earth, you can have your own ID.
I tell you, that is probably the biggest selling point when we talk to clients. I have a particular client that we've been trying to introduce the concept of UUIDs to, and that's the whole thing. It's like, okay, if we have UUIDs and we interact with another service, as long as that service tracks the UUID for that record, we will always know it's our record and what record it is. Like, not in theory. In theory, it could be
not in theory. In theory,
in theory, there could be something else out there with that UUID. Yeah, it's like there is collision in the UUID spectrum, but it really is. It's like not realistic, and that's what we try to tell the client. It's like if you have a UUID in a package from another vendor, another service that is your UUID, you will always be able to tell what record that belongs to, like forever and always. because that record will have its own unique identifier. It's not unique to that table. It's unique to everything. And they love that. They absolutely love that idea. But then, we don't actually use it. So
And you actually don't leak information like record numbers.
right.
I love going to a site where your order number 453. Okay, so you've only had 452 orders up to this point.
Yep. Yeah.
Especially when you're doing competitor analysis, when you're trying to figure out how big your competitor is. If you can figure that out, it's kind of nice to know.
Yep. All right. I think that's
Good
all I
title,
have.
Sarah.
I think I'm going to shorten that to theoretical theories.
It was funny because you said in theory, not in theory, but not in theory, in theory.
No, I said not in theory.
Yeah. Yep.
Theoretical theories. Not theoretical.
Figure it out after the show.
You don't tell me what to do. You're not my real
Yes,
dad.
I do. Yes, I do. All the time.
All right. See money. Charlton. All right. I think that's it, man. You got anything else you want to talk about? You want to wrap this bad boy up?
Sounds good to me.
All right. This is do it for episode
383.
I'm Eric.
I'm John.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They're getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
Uh-oh. You learned something. What did you learn? We're learning people. We're educating. We're educating people.
That's a problem. We're not supposed to do that. Yeah. Did I tell you I reached out to Harry Mack to try and re-record?
You did not. Did you really?
Yeah, I got shot down.
Hard? Was it a hard no?
Hard no.
Damn.
Not happening. I was like, but he recorded it for us already. We just need to make some changes. Nope, not doing it. I was like, are you sure? Did you ask him? He knows who we are. He was on our show, sort of, in our comment section. Nope.
Damn it. We're going to have to find another up-and-coming rapper, John.
We did, Sarah.
This is true. This is true, Sarah. We have your... I never did create that channel that I told everybody I would create last week. Remake the PHPUgly Anthem remix. So let's do that right now. We're gonna create the channel.
Do it live.
Yeah. Wait, Anthem Remix is what we'll call it. Go ahead.
I was letting you finish.
No, I'm done.
So, see, money. I had talked to, I forget which episode it was. We have some code at work at firmware that we use that you can actually turn your IDs, your integer IDs, into UIDs and backwards. So you could start to. I mean, it's not super secure in any way. It's just a UUID, and instead of having to generate a new one, you can start to put UUIDs out on the web in your web interface, and then whatever is expecting an integer ID, you can exchange that UUID for the ID you're looking for and use that. I thought the person who wrote it made an open source package for that, but I'm not finding it. So I will keep looking around.
Hey, anybody watch the PHPUgly podcast? Jesus, Eric.
PHP Roundtable.
Roundtable podcast last week. It'd be interesting in your opinion, your thoughts. Unless they're bad, then I really don't care what you think. Sarah, where did I post those where I split the audio, the music, the beat, and I posted the lyrics. Was that in general that I did that? Where the hell is that? I want to move it to the new channel. Oh, here, got it. I got it. Remix. Oh no, this is this. These are those UDOs. Here we go. Found it. It's okay, John. I got it. I'm
Cool.
good. Just gonna move this over to the new channel. Instrumentals. All right. There's a new channel out there called Anthem Remix for anybody interested. Feel free to pop on over there. We're gonna add these. Adding these files here for anyone taking up the cause. And lyrics in music. Okay. Can you pin things in Discord? Pin?
I don't know.
Pin message. Just did. Oh yeah, pin it. Boom. Okay. Lyrics and instrumentals are pinned to the Anthem remix. If anybody has updates to the lyrics, because I only went through it a couple times, I'm sure I missed stuff. Anybody has updates to lyrics, let me know. Yeah, I will be happy to update the lyrics. And if you're listening now and you're like, wait, what the hell just happened? What's everybody talking about? This is a different show. Please leave. This is just us BSing. More so than the actual show. See, money, you 100% need to give a version.
I'm distracted because my wife is awesome. She just texted me out of the blue saying, "Hey, how does the weather look for Saturday?" And she can take both boys with her to Sky Zone. I'm like, sorry, I'm confused. And she's basically asking me if the weather was looking good for me to go paragliding. Basically saying, hey, after your baseball game, if you want to go paragliding, go for it. Got in the air yesterday for the first time in 3 months. Drove very short flights, 2 very short flights. It's a 15 to 20 minute hike up for a 2 to 3 minute flight down. But the fact that it's been 3 months since I've launched, it felt good.
Good. Poor kid is having to deal with their first bank issue as an adult. Sarah, is that the lyrics I added to Discord, or are those the ones you wrote up? If they're the ones you wrote up, can you just do a diff? Because I don't know. I don't know whose is right. All right. So yeah, so I'm hoping to have Ugly maybe wrapped up today as far as the videos.
I'm telling you, you took the wrong room, but it kind of worked out.
No, I don't think I did.
I know you did, because I wrote down when we talked about it that I need to take those 2 rooms.
What two?
So round table and ballroom. So those are the ones I downloaded. But like I said, all worked out. I'll continue uploading ballroom. Thank you for all the editing you've done.
No problem. I gotta be honest. I'm happy with what Tech TV is turning into. I have a couple of features
awesome
I want to add to it. Yeah.
We still need to get my local dev set up, because I have a few things I want to do.
Yeah, definitely do that. Well, wait, I thought we got you're talking about for Tech TV? I thought we got that one set up, or was that for Tech? I forget.
Did we? I forget. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But yeah, we'll get you set up. I got an idea. Not an idea. I'll share it here. I don't care. I think I'm gonna go back through all of the videos, and for all the speakers who shared their slides, I'm going to add that as a column to the talks table. So if a talk has a shared slide URL, I'll add it. And then when I'm producing the summary for the video, if the slide URL is there, I'll add that to that summary.
Yeah,
so people who watch the videos. Yeah.
It's available in many of them are available in Joined In.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about going through Joined In. That's the next thing we need to do. We need to tie the PHP Tech TV talks to Joined In. Yeah, that's what else we got to do.
Easy enough.
Yeah. That way, when people watch the video, if they want to comment, they want to add something to Joined In for that talk, they'll have like the link right there they can click on.
Need to do that in our mobile app next year. Like an easy way to click on that and go to Joined In, fill it out.
Oh wow, yeah, like that idea a lot. Yeah, it's in the attendee app, like when they're in a talk. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wonder if we could. I think we can. Don't remember if Joined In. Like, I know I have a token from there. I don't remember if I could get an OAuth token for you. Say you logged into the app and then you OAuth to Joined In, and then you could leave the comment right there in our app, and we could post it for you.
Post it for you as you, yeah.
Yeah. From the mobile app.
Yeah.
So
I get what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And we're open to suggestions. We're I think we talked about it already, trying to get a attendees app done for next year's conference so that people can, the thing that sparked it is people want to share information when they meet people, which we thought was a good idea. So we're kind of working through some ideas on that. But if you had an attendee app, what would you like on it? Like, obviously the schedules would be on there, maybe even the map of the same. I mean,
venue.
the map is on your badge. If a lot of people didn't realize that, I'm like the last day of the conference, somebody's asked me where a room is, and I'm like, flip their badge over. I'm like, this room right here. Just go down the hall. And he's like, oh, I didn't even know that was there. I'm like, have you not turned your badge over this whole time?
We got to figure out what to do with the jingling of the badge next year.
Explain that to me. What's wrong with the jingling?
People are complaining that it's just where the buckles were. It was metal on metal, and it just jingled as you moved. And they didn't like that.
I mean, literally, I'm looking at all the conference badges I have here. They all have the exact same lanyard.
Yeah. So Joined In does have a way to get an access token, but it's through the password grant flow. So we would have to ask, we would have their actual username and password, which is terrible.
No, we don't want that. You know,
Well, I mean, you
Joined In, like we know, first thing,
people's.
we know people. Second thing, it's open source. Actually, is it still open source?
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah.
some rumblings about closing that off. Okay.
Well, no, I think there's rumblings about, is it going to still be a thing?
Yeah. So yeah, it's open source, so we can definitely add things to it. Maybe we should just take it as PHP Architect project.
Nah.
Don't say nah. I wasn't asking your permission. I'm just letting you know some of the things I'm thinking about here. What is this? Is this still a thing? Call for papers. That's still out there too. What?
OpenCFP?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Longhorn uses, and Cascadia is using it.
Why aren't we using it? Isn't this Grumpy's? Isn't he the one that started this?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. It's more that, forget what, we tried using it for Wave, or we did use it for Wave. I think there's some of the niceties of Sessionize that made it more appealing. Cost a little bit of money. What?
It looks like you can. How can you add your event? It has Sessionize.
What do you mean?
Call for papers. I'm looking at the FAQs and call for papers.
Where are you looking?
This here. I just told you callforpapers.com, but I'll put it in here.
Oh, not OpenCFP.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Oh, hey. You're frozen, and I dropped off.
Really?
Oh, I have that thing you had where your little side is moving fine, but what happens if I do this? Nope. Nope, still the frozen picture.
Weird. Yeah, you dropped for some reason.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, so Call for Papers is not OpenCFP.
Oh, okay.
Actually, callforpapers.com is for sale. I don't know what you're talking about.
Calling all papers.
It's in.
I didn't post. Oh, because I was in the wrong channel. Shit. Here it is. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the same thing, I don't think.
Yeah.
But it's good to know that's there. I bet Tek is not on there, is it?
I don't know why it would be on there, but yeah. So,
do they not allow you to go back in time? It's only in the future. Makes sense.
You want to know what email address I have associated with my Joined In account? Give it a quick guess.
Your eSolves?
No. That would have actually been more. Yeah, that would have been. No. sdphp.org. Oh, shit. Apparently my my PHP Arch account is already in use. So what is that? Forgot password? Forgot username? I don't know, man. I don't know any of this stuff. At PHP Arch. We're looking for. Can't find that. Oh, we're gonna have to call our people because there's an error here in their logic. We're looking for people to contribute to the magazine. If you're one of the 21 people still watching PHP Architect, we pay good money. I mean, we'll do. We won't pay you money if you'll do it for free. We always appreciate the free contributions, but looking for some feature articles and anything's open. Postgres, ULIDs. What else did we talk about today?
Nothing.
Those are the big ones. No. What was yours? CTEs? CTE?
Yep. CTE.
CTE, yeah. I mean, if you have any interest in writing about any of those topics or any other topic, send us a message and we'll let you know if it's appropriate for the magazine. And yeah, make it happen. It's weird. It won't let me add my PHP Arch account because it says that email address has already been used. It won't let me change my account to PHP Arch. It says that email is already associated with another account. But when I go to forgot username and I type in that email, it says that email is not associated to any record. So, yeah.
Interesting. I did ask them to blacklist you. Maybe maybe they finally did that.
That would make a lot more sense. PHP Tech events. Oh, I'm not under events. Can you not search for events? Whoa, wait.
I'm joined in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked for me.
So I want to see the comments on the event. Can I see the comments on the event? Oh, there they are.
There's 4 of them.
I love reading like that Hunter one. Love that. The event, lots of smart people, core members. That's the thing. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like, the fact that you have members of internals there, core contributors of the language who make time to come. It's so enlightening. And then you have people like Derek, who's a core contributor, but also the guy behind XDebug. Like, these just so many people, so many just not influential. That's like, I'm not trying to like make it sound like it's just like the core people, like the people who are doing the real work. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's not as many as I thought would be there, but there's plenty there.
Yeah, that's perfect. Did you see we actually did get feedback for the good, bad, and ugly of this podcast? We did get feedback that people felt like it was a very elite, like elite. Is that the word I'm looking for? Not elite. Clicky, I guess, is what I'm looking for more. Like, there was like, yeah, everybody was like, clicky or whatever. I don't know how to describe it, but not as open as we were hoping it. The experience that we're trying to.
Yeah, that's hard to overcome sometimes when people know each other. Like, I would go and just sit down at random tables and try to talk to people, and then you'd find out like there are 4 or 5 people from the same company all sitting at the same table.
And then you're
It's
like, sorry, we'll leave.
no, I mean, they were welcoming and I was able to talk to them, but you're like, you could tell they kept talking about their business stuff together.
Mhm.
And like you would ask a question, they'd answer, and then they go back to talking about their business, like work wise, versus, having that back and forth conversation of here's what we're doing and it's like,
Mhm.
and it's hard to, you try to emphasize that whole, you should, try to meet somebody new, sit with other people, but it's hard when you're in a social environment. You kind of want to sit with people, it's definitely
Well,
more comfortable.
especially situations like that where there are multiple people from the company who might not get the opportunity to physically be together. That is their opportunity to be together, and that's what they want to do. They don't want to meet new people. They want to get to know the people that they work with all the time. I that's a good point, and I can appreciate that. I don't know how to explain it, but like, when we do our intro to the conference and stuff, like how to say, hey, this is okay. But yeah, I don't know how to do that. Birds of feather, speed date, social hour. Each table has a topic, but no chairs. Float around. Chris, what are we talking about here, Chris? Birds of a feather, speed date, social hour. Each table has a topic, but no chairs. Dude, I kind of like this idea. Yeah. Oh, I kind of like this. But like when we do this, right? Like nobody wants to do it during the social event because everybody likes to drink and play games with each other and karaoke. Man, this is almost like maybe half day uncon, half a day birds of a feather. I like this birds of a feather idea. Damn, I don't know how we would do this at the conference though.
Can try and figure something out.
Yeah, see, C-Money. No, this is what I'm saying, C-Money. Like, your coworkers wanting to sit together makes sense, and people shouldn't feel bad about doing that. I think that makes, that's perfectly reasonable. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you want to meet new people, and I assume you still have that opportunity. But yeah, I like that idea of, sitting with. I mean, honestly, it's the only time of year our company gets to physically hang out with one another and go out and have dinner or something. Yeah. So you shouldn't feel bad about that, C-Money. We need to figure out a way of articulating that to attendees. Like, hey, we understand there are companies here, and maybe you don't want to socialize as much. Don't feel bad about that. We do breakout rooms for topics. Yeah, see, we're only going to have one extra room next year for Uncon for one
He's
day.
saying breakout rooms in Zoom.
Oh, in Zoom. So
Right.
so a breakout room would just be like a table in the corner of the room. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Cameras, basics, maintainers. Damn, Chris, that's a really good idea. Yeah. But yeah, think about it. Uggos out there who join the show on a regular basis. Attendee app. What would you like to see on the attendee app as well? We're not promising anything, like especially for this next iteration, but if it's not too crazy and it makes sense, definitely would be willing to consider doing it. Maybe even, I mean, like we even talked about like on the website, a lot of people didn't realize there was a things to do section of the website. If you go to phptech.io, there was like a things to do. Maybe putting that in as well. And yes, I'm purposely using the new URL a lot so that people get used to hearing it.
Here's a fun video I just came across. Boop, boop, boop. Throw this over here.
Is this Slack or Oh,
I just
you put in Discord.
Yeah. It just came across my feed. I had to share it.
I can't. I gotta open up Discord. Go back to my Discord. I can't click on it.
I
Oh,
can
it's
click
just
it.
you flying again?
No, it's definitely not me flying.
Oh, what's this?
Somebody getting caught up in a
Oh,
twister.
I think you've showed this to me before. That.
No,
Oh, look at him! Oh, no! That is not good.
I haven't seen this one before. It was new to me.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, I think I've seen one where somebody had got pulled into a fence like that before. I don't remember seeing the
Well, then they show it from first person because he has a GoPro on his head.
Oh, this is his view.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I'm just to that point. So he's messing with his. Oh, it's tied up. Oh wait, no, wait, that's pull the cord. Oh, nope, it's tied up. No, get it untied. Take off. No, that's not working. Nope. Oh, you know he farted a little bit right there when he hit that post.
My kid just brought me peanut butter covered brownies that he made earlier.
So how expensive is the canopy? Like if he ripped it in the tree,
You can repair it. You can get it sewn back together. Obviously, there's a limit to how much damage it can take, but for the most part, you pull it down.
I would be the
back.
guy like I'm like I totally meant to do that. I was testing out something. No, it's fine.
I was curious what it'd be like to be in a twister and watch my wing go in circles instead of
exactly
straight. Nah. See, now I gotta do research and find out what the weather's gonna be like on Saturday.
Oh, Chris, we're talking Lando for local development. Yeah, I'm still rocking the Lando. I'm still rocking the Lando. I'm slowly turning a few other developers in the company on board with it, including John. We're getting there. I'm getting there. It's been a while. I haven't seen you in here in a while, Chris. I must have missed you at Tech. I'm sure I missed you at Tech, Chris. The new Lando setup command. Wait, there's a Lando setup command? I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. You're gonna have me Lando set up. Oh, I don't have Lando set up in my install. Hasn't made its way to me, Chris. I don't know where I would use it, but I'm pretty happy with my Lando YAML. I just move from project to project and tweak.
We have people starting to drop from viewership. We should probably call it for the night today.
Sounds good to me. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, everyone. See you next